Hello, hello, hello. So it's your guide of light to help you through the night. And I just wanted to share something. My daughter came to me this morning and said, I really need to quit thinking. And I said, that's a hard thing to do. I know I've tried for a really long time. But basically, she reminded me, go with the flow. And I keep telling myself, go with the flow, go with the flow. I think I even made a video about it the other day, but she came and confirmed that to me. So she said last weekend we went to my parents' house. She said, I didn't want to be there. And then when I was there was no electricity because a storm came through and blew out the electricity. So we all hung out with no electricity. So today we're going to my sister's house for Mother's Day and they have a swimming pool. And she said, I didn't want to go swimming, but I didn't want to sit outside of the pool by myself. And it's been pouring down rain. It's still thundering outside, so we're not swimming. She goes, I think I keep doing these things. And I was like, it's not you, it's just how it works. So she said, I really need to stop thinking. And she deals with anxiety and is coping with depression. I mean, she's 14. I don't know if you remember being a teenager. I do. And it was slightly miserable until I found drugs in a bad crowd. And then it was like a horror show. But either way it goes, um, like I said, she's reminding me that we all need to stop overthinking. Because as you overthink, you build up that anxiety for yourself. You create storylines that aren't there. You create issues that now you have to overcome. And there wasn't even an obstacle. So the more that we can do what I used to say, we can start going with the flow. Because for the most part, we're all like this, holding our breath, waiting to see what's going to happen next. So as we keep holding our breath, I mean, eventually you're going to tap yourself out, right? So it doesn't matter the outcome. And someone reminded me yesterday, it doesn't matter what you and I say to one another. It's whatever is destined for us. And that made me stop for a second and go, huh, you've been talking to the fates, huh? Because when you start getting on that level of thinking, when you start realizing it doesn't matter who's in my life, not in my life, who should be there, who shouldn't be there, when you start just allowing, you start allowing the flow. And when you allow the flow, it's like the wind taking everything in the place in the world that it needs to be. The seeds are spread, the sands are moved around, fertilization occurs, different things are cleansed. It just, there's a purpose for it. And instead of us wandering aimlessly trying to figure out all these things, we've got to learn to release and allow. And I was reminded yesterday, and someone had made like a little meme type thing that said, you have tried to figure everything out on your own. You haven't come to me. You have struggled. And it's time for you to put down your burdens and give them to me and trust in me. I love you, God. And it made me go, wow, that was like, I don't want to say a smack in the face, but wake up. Because when we struggle or we try to sort our own problems out, we're not showing that we have faith in a higher power. We're not showing that we believe things are going to work out for us. Because you can say all you want, I'm not a bad person. I help others. My heart is good. But if you have no faith that you're being guided and you're doing the correct thing, then you're ultimately wandering aimlessly. And we have to be careful what we teach and show our children, because sadly I've added to the element of my daughter's anxiety because she's watched me struggle. She's watched me um, try to work through these problems without meditating on them or praying on them. And I got this. I'm a strong, independent woman. I can do this all by myself. And I have had to come to the realization I'm not. I am a very loved and protected child of what I now know to be God, creator, bigger power. And that I have to continue to live my life in a light that helps others to continue to be inspired, that helps others to continue to learn and grow. Because there's not a whole lot of people left on this planet that are like, I'll help be the leader. I will help everyone accept their flaws as gifts. I will allow them to think that their weaknesses are strengths, because they are. When you can accept yourself for who you are, what you're here to do doesn't matter. When you just show up and shine, then you become a driving force for other people to feel vulnerable enough to do that themselves. So we're here to support one another, not fight one another. And we will get back to the stance of realizing we're supposed to be unified. If we look back in our history, we see what unity can provide for culture, society, for the blessings of this planet. Because my personal belief is this is the Garden of Eden, and we've turned it into hell by cutting down the trees, by contaminating the waters, by fighting one another, by having foods that have no nutritional value for our bodies. We have essentially destroyed ourselves from the inside out. By what we're doing from the outside, it's affecting the inside. So that goes with raising your children. That goes with thinking about yourself. That goes with what thoughts you allow to ruminate in your head. That's what you allow in is what you're accepting. So I know it's difficult to try to stay positive, but if you keep entertaining the negative, that is going to be the product of your day. And the more that you focus on the negative, like, oh, I got this bill due and I can't pay it. I'm about to lose everything. And these are personal issues I've been dealing with, which is why I'm using them as examples. And I finally had to say, it is what it is. I'm being moved in ways that I have no control over. I can either fight it, come kicking and screaming and crying and thinking that my world is falling apart, or I can sit there and go, you know what? I trust that you have something greater in store for me than what I thought I had planned. Because that's the ultimate thing in life. Nothing we plan really ever works out. Even if you have an itinerary and you go on vacation and you follow it to a T, doesn't mean you're not going to have setbacks, doesn't mean that you're not going to have little situations that you didn't prepare for. Like say you're going to go to a museum and all of a sudden you had to stand in line for hours and your itinerary is off now. You can get in a bad mood about it, or you can say, hey, it is what it is. We had time to sit and talk and do what we were doing. Have family time. There's a positive and a negative to every situation. It's just how are you going to approach it? Because you can sit there and say nothing works out for me. I have this big plan for my life. But you have to realize that if your plan were to come to fruition, you might short yourself. Because you don't know the greatness inside of you. You don't know the power that you possess. You don't know that you're meant for something bigger than what you're allowing yourself to believe. And when you can allow yourself to go, okay, I surrender, I accept with an open heart that whatever is to come to me is meant for me. And it could be relationships you thought were dead all of a sudden come back, and that person returns in a new light. That person brings a new light to you, and it alters who you are as an individual. It could be friends that you had let go and just said, I can't deal with them, they're toxic. And then all of a sudden you see their life blossoming and blooming, they've recovered, and now you're toxic. So we have to understand that we're always changing. That is the awesome part of being human. We change like the wind blows. And it's because we do affect each other on an energetic level. We do affect each other on an emotional level. We do affect each other with what we're willing to be vulnerable with. And the more that we can allow ourselves to be open and honest, the more other people can go, hey, if you can do that, I can do that. We encourage one another. It's not a competition. There's no need to keep competing about who's smarter, who's faster, who's stronger, who's prettier, who's more capable. There's no need for competition. It's your life and it's my life. We don't have the same goals and aspirations, and we shouldn't. We are here on personal journeys called our lives. And there's no need that we all merge onto the same path. Then you'd have traffic. It would be like trying to get to work every day. And then your passions are no longer fun and enjoyable. They now become a work that you don't want to take part in. So try to get out of your head. Try to embrace those that are open to you and loving to you. And those that seem toxic to you, give them a chance. Listen to their stories. Maybe you have that piece to the puzzle that will help them understand the next step they need to take. Or maybe they have a piece for you that allows you to understand what you need to learn to no longer attract that kind of person into your life. Because we're all here. We're all affecting each other, even if we don't know each other on a personal level. So just try to approach today with an open heart. And as a mother on Mother's Day, I do realize my mission in life is to help produce a generation that is a far better giver, provider, nurturer, lover than the generation in which I came from. To help them heal from toxicity and depression and anxiety and the negative sides of ourselves, the fear, the things that hold us back, the devil's bidding, let's say. So when we get to a point we can overcome our own demons, we help them to spread their wings and realize that there are capabilities within them that we did not see within ourselves. So happy Mother's Day to anybody that's a mother. And I hope that you have a very wonderful day with your family. I'm about to go enjoy mine with mine and sending you peace, love, and light. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.